Tonight, from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, it's the NFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We'll see Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys taking on Trey Lance and the San Francisco 49ers.
One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Time for Dak Prescott and the Dallas offense to go to work. Prescott, of course, the former fourth-round pick in 2016 out of Mississippi State. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. A give to Elliott, and he'll be brought down right around the 37.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
A first down throw for Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Oh, Zeke with a quick feed. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He'll buy some time right. That's complete to his tight end Sprinkle. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on third down. Zeke with a shake, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are on the board first here in this division round matchup. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And he more than did his part in the wild card win with 3 touchdown passes. Now, he's going to get a bigger test here in round 2. But his unit is in rhythm, and they're playing as well as they have all year long. I wouldn't be surprised if this defense, though, tried to get after him early with a little extra pressure. If he can handle that, he can have another big game, though.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They fake the handoff. Now Lance sliding out of the pocket. He'll have a first down past the 40. And Lance will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact there at the end of the play.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Lance now on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4. We've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Lance looking to throw it. This one taken in by the former Baylor Bear, Jalen Hurd. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. The tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. 61 yards rushing for him now, as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup. Prescott on first down. This to Jarwin. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You talk about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Flushed out right. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Prescott to throw it. Flush to his right. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No. Here comes the flag. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long. Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Lamb. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Throwing, Prescott. Open man, Lamb. It's complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now here's Pollard. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard as the first half is winding down. And the Cowboys will extend their lead here just before halftime. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining. A nice start to the drive, picking up 12 yards there and a very quick first down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A final shot before half for Lance. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, this is the second of 4 games this weekend as we narrow the field down to the 4 teams who will meet in the league championship.
You sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter.
And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
They'll try and run for the first with Sermon.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Back to Sermon on first down.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On second down, it's Sermon.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
That's on the guard, Laken Tomlinson.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. First man through, it's the fullback Juszczyk. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Now's a good chunk of yardage picked up there. And big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no...
Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Cowboys continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. Oh, and he pulled it right. It's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
And San Francisco gets set to go here.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Play action. Now it's Lance.
That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Lance now on first down. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Working from the gun, Lance. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
And Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Lance looks to throw again.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw taken in by Samuel.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
2nd and 5 now. Lance
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Lance going to throw.
Got his target, Samuel.
And the 49ers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown.
That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Niners are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Cowboys are able to recover. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. 10th carry now for Elliott. Able to avoid him at the 40. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now we'll look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. A beautiful fake. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. On the counter, Elliott. And shedding through the tackle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. The give is to Elliott. This carry, despite the extra effort, will be stopped short of the 10. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. They'll run with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Cowboys are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this 4th quarter lead. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. That time a 6-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Here comes Nelson. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. They knew this would be tough on the road divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this 4th quarter. Throwing on 1st down is Lance. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
2nd and 10. Here's Lance to throw it. This will be caught at Samuel. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the 49ers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Cowboys are going to secure the football, and with it, they'll just about secure the victory as well. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They go down to a knee, and with that, they're off to the NFC title game.
The Cowboys will advance to the next round as we say thanks for watching and so long, everybody.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.